In the early days, I didn't know to ask people, are you on antidepressants? Because I never was on antidepressants, never been on one. All right, so I don't know about antidepressants, you know, and so people would come and I would work on this girl and we'd address all her major emotional traumas and all the pains and hurts that caused her depression. I didn't ask if you're on antidepressants because, you know, I didn't know, I mean, I knew people did it, but I didn't know about it. And then, you know, we addressed all the major emotional traumas, and then I meet her a month or two later, she says, wow, I've been off my antidepressants ever since you started working on me. She just went cold turkey, no side effects. So then I work with a nurse with the same stuff. She knows better. She goes cold turkey, and now she's having emotional issues. So, and it's the weirdness too. It's like I work with somebody who have a severe caffeine addiction, 2 or 3 liters of Dr. Pepper a day, which is a lot of caffeine, major emotional addiction. And I work with her, and 1 15-minute session, the addiction's gone. And the weird thing is, no side effects of the caffeine withdrawal. All right? So I work with smokers. You know, of course, when you deal with smokers, it's the same basic emotional system. Smoking is the easiest drug to get off of. It takes 3 days. You're no longer physically addicted. Physically addicted. It's easier than cocaine and heroin. But you know what the problem is? The emotional conditionings. It's the emotional links. Because, see, you've been emotionally conditioned every time you smoke. Because, see, when you start smoking, first of all, the first cigarettes taste like crud. It doesn't feel good. It makes you nauseous. And then all of a sudden, you start to build up your nicotine. Now, you got this nicotine in your body, and you feel okay. You just you've been smoking. Next thing you know, the nicotine starts going down in your body. All of a sudden, you start to become anxious. You're anxious and nervous, and you hit a cigarette, all of a sudden your body relaxes, and your brain goes, smoking relaxes you. It don't really, and see, consciously, you may or may not even know it's just only relaxing the nicotine addiction, not the body. The nicotine lack of nicotine stresses you out. So here it is. They're addressing their nicotine addiction. They go to a hypnotist, and they put this nicotine away, and they're no longer addicted to cigarettes. But since they didn't address the problem, which is what? Not knowing how to deal with their emotions and their feelings, guess what they're going to start doing? They're going to be putting something in their mouth. And then they come to see me, and they gain 250 pounds. Hypnosis really worked for me. And I quit smoking, but I began to pick up the spoon and eat more. So the hypnotist did not fix the problem. The problem is inability to deal with their world and not getting the emotional drivers. So again, you go back to the links, and here's a guy who hadn't smoked in 30 years. 30 years, hadn't picked it up. His dog died, his wife left him, and he lost his job. All of a sudden, he's got a lot of anxiety. His brain goes in the background. Since the memory's set in there, smoking will relax you. So he's got this relaxation and smoking linked together, which it doesn't relax you. It only relaxes the nicotine, which is the hypnosis of it too. So that's the bizarreness of how this stuff works. So all this is big stuff. It's how the brain works and how the unconscious works. And when you know how to work with the system, then you can make changes within your own system. And I know this is like I just dumped on a big thing here, but this is how it works. But all you need to do, really, is just notice what bothers you, tap on it, change it. Notice what bothers you, tap on it, and change it. If you have a fear, tap on it and change it. You know, so I do addictions. I'm an expert at addictions. There's no one who can do what I do with addictions because my system is uniquely different and profoundly effective. And if you want to see proof of it, go to my YouTube channel, type in drugs or addiction. You'll see what we do. All right, so same with allergies. It's the same basic emotional system, same as panic attacks, fears, and phobias. It's all built pretty much basically the same. And just like we did this cracker, notice when you're doing the cracker, your brain is using its own data. And you can change the data. And like with Robert, he was saying, well, I hate lima beans. You know what? I used to hate a lot of foods. I tapped it out. Matter of fact, last year in 2016, was it 2016 or was it this year? Last year, I did not like wine. It was gross, disgusting. Red wine. I didn't tap on white. I don't want to do white. But I had to tap on red wine. Because red wine they say it's healthy, it's good for your blood, look a little bit more sophisticated than drinking a big old pint of beer. So what I did is I started tapping out the disgust of it. And I found a memory with my grandfather in his breath. And I tapped that away. Then, by the way, then you have to acquire a taste. You have to learn to like it. You have good friends and good relationships, good experiences. As you're drinking wine, then you build a neural highway of enjoying wine. And I got to be so good, I'd drink a glass every night. Then I got to a point I said, well, I think I've got it down. So now I could drink one occasionally. So I have now, I used to, my friends would bring me cheese, from different countries when they come and visit. Now they bring me wine. So if you want to come and visit me, if you really want to get points in heaven, red wine.
So you say that smoking is a lot easier to quit than other drugs, but I used to be addicted to cocaine, Xanax, and I'd smoke weed every day. I've been sober from those for over a year now, but cigarettes, well, mainly tobacco in general, that's just one of the hardest things to quit. And it's weird. Tobacco is so artificial and so short maintenance. And when I take a line of cocaine, that feeling of whatever I was feeling goes away so much faster and is so much further gone. But smoking, it just numbs it for a little bit. So why do I feel like smoking is harder to quit if cocaine does the job better of blocking the feeling? But I can quit cocaine.
Yeah. Well, you have to understand. I'll explain that. It's a good question. All right. So obviously there's some smarts working in you. Congratulations on that. All right. So here's a typical model. You have to understand. So I have Kathy, for example. She's the one that drank 3 liters of Dr. Pepper a day. As a matter of fact, you remember the 2000 scare where everything's she filled her garage up with Dr. Pepper. She didn't care about food, Dr. Pepper. So what she did, so here it is, she was sexually abused at 4 years old. She shared all this publicly. All right, so she has pain inside of her. She has no ability to deal with her hurts. So what she did, she was using cocaine, she's using pot, and she was smoking and doing drugs, and she was a truck driver, all right? This was her addiction. It helped and it numbed the pain, all right? And then she slowly started logically saying, well, this is really not good for me. So then what she'd do is she would go to a lesser drug. So she went to smoking pot only, kind of moving away because she saw the dangers of what the other would lead. All right, so then she started smoking pot. And drinking a lot in pot. And then she found Jesus. Congratulations. And then she's trying to turn her life over. She's trying to quit. And then she went to AA. And then she became an AA-aholic. All the time, every time. So it's alcoholic. Now she's doing that. And then now she becomes a smoker, really heavy-duty smoker. So she lessened one drug, lessened to another drug, lessened to another drug. Now she's a AA-aholic. And then she became a smoker-aholic. And then she moved into Dr. Pepper-aholic. By the way, all of those are the same. Yeah. They're just shifting, trading horses. Now this one up here will take you to death and make it worse track. So logically she said, hey, this is smarter, do this. Right? Again, this problem is also stacked into the lower problem, which is the Dr. Pepper addiction. All right? So again, what drives addiction, what drives all addictions is just like what he was saying. I want to feel better. I want to feel better. That's what drives the addiction. Now, what drives the addiction is the emotional pains and experience that we didn't change. So one of the things that I have done and what I do in my system is we go to the pain. Now the pain is connected with what? People, relationships, experiences, our own self-loathing, whatever we do inside of our head and do it. So if we go to the match in the hand guy, which is the pain, the addiction is not needed because there's nothing to escape from. Now with smoking, granted, it's a better alternative than the others. All right? So one of the things that I do with my addiction program, as well as I do it with the abuse program, it's all the same, is we go get all resources. Who, what, where, when, and how. And we change the memories. So once you change the driving system, then all of a sudden the addiction And the force that drives the addiction is not driving anymore because there's nothing to numb out and escape. That's all. So the nice thing is that you lessened. Now here's the problem. If you don't develop better coping skills, you still have the addiction, great escape, sitting there on the shelf. What you want to do is change all that because you don't want to be stupid. So that's the key. So again, you can trade addictions, and then some people may switch to food, and some people, they're just an addict. Now, by the way, addict, in my opinion, an addict is someone who's looking for a way out. And they have hurt, and they're looking for a way out. Drugs, sex, food, alcohol, heroin, cocaine, shopping, you name it, anything to divert. And that's all they are. They're just escapaholics. Matter of fact, every one of you are. Now, the ones who are experts at it, who are the heroin, cocaine, drug addicts, shopaholics big time, they have bigger reasons, tougher reasons, hurts, traumas, unresolved emotional issues. And the nice thing about all these things is they have other people there. Oh, again, people keep showing up to support your addiction. Do you see it? It's all about relationships. So again, that's how it all works. That's the whole system. And if you don't know how to deal with your problem, you're going to find some escape. So again, all this stuff is compounded into one. Well, good thing it's just one, and you have someone sitting right next to you who's trained to help you change that. Now, she's been to Debilitate a couple of times, and she knows the system, and you'll be completely free. So you should let her help you do that one, whatever it is that's behind all of it.